Anthropic just published the full story behind the Fable 5 return, and on the same day, quietly dropped a second launch too. Let's go through both properly. So here is the official news of the redeployment of the Fable 5 and the new Claude Sonnet release. So instead of reading all of this, I will take you through this with a summary. Let's begin. Here is Anthropic's own account of what happened. Quick things to know going in. Fable 5 and Mythos 5 aren't two different models. They are the same underlying model. Fable 5 is the public version with heavy safeguards bolted on. Mythos 5 is the same system with fewer restrictions, kept limited to a small group of trusted partners. So here is the timeline. Fable 5 and Mythos 5 launched June 9th. 3 days later, June 12th, both got suspended by a government export control directive. June 26th, Mythos 5 partially came back for trusted US organizations. Controls were officially lifted June 30, and Fable 5 returned to everyone July 1st. So, Amazon researchers found a way to prompt Fable 5 into identifying software vulnerabilities, and in one case, it produced code demonstrating how to exploit one. That report is what reached the government and triggered the shutdown. The reality check. Anthropic tested whether this was actually a Fable 5 specific problem, and it wasn't. Every one of these models could reproduce the exact same exploit demonstration, including older Claude version and GPT 5.5. So the bypass exposed no unique Mythos level danger. The fix. Anthropic trained a new classifier targeting the exact bypass. It now blocks it in over 99% of attempts. Researchers from the Commerce Department own Center for AI Standard and Innovation independently tested and signed off. So let's move on actually how the safeguard work. So this is Anthropic's own diagram, and it's worth pausing on. Row C is a minor jailbreak. It just recovers some of the benign safety margins the classifier overblocks by default. Row D, a narrow harmful jailbreak, gets a specific set of harmful tasks past the classifier. Row E, the worst case, a universal jailbreak, unlocks a large fraction of harmful tasks without any drop in capability. Anthropic says the jailbreak reported against Fable 5 so far all sit in row C, which is minor. Anthropic is now working with Amazon, Microsoft, and Google to score how dangerous any AI jailbreak actually is on 4 axes. How much capability each grants, how broad that capability is, how easy it is to weaponize, and how discoverable it already is. Basically, the AI industry building its own version of a CVSS score. They also launched new HackerOne program specifically for Fable 5, so security researchers now have an official channel to submit jailbreak they find instead of just posting them publicly. And Anthropic committed to going deeper with the government, pre-release access to future frontier model, faster reporting on major jailbreak, dedicated research team and compute for joint work, and pushing toward one common security bar across the whole industry. So the bottom line on Fable, back on July 1st, across the Claude platform, Claude AI, Claude Code, and Cowork, Pro Max and Team get included for up to half your weekly usage through July 7th. So for the usage and the tokens, so one thing worth flagging if you're actually going to use this, Fable 5 eats through your plan fast. Through July 7, you get up to 50% of your weekly usage limit on it. Hit that and you fall back to usage credit, meaning it stops working entirely if you don't have credits enabled. One nuance, that grace period only applies to Premier Enterprise seats. Standard Enterprise seats get 0 included allowance and are billed through usage credit from day one. Anthropic's own wording is that Fable 5 dropped down usage faster than Opus 4.8. They don't publish an exact multiplier, but community usage tracking puts it around double the burn rate. On the API, it's literal. $10 and $50 per million token input and output, exactly double what Opus 4.8 costs and 5 times Sonnet 5 intro price. Let's move on to Claude Sonnet 5. Their most agentic Sonnet model yet, it plans, uses tools like browser and terminals, and run autonomously at a level that used to require Opus class models. Performance is now close to Opus 4.8 at a fraction of the cost. It's live everywhere today. It's now the default model for free and pro users. Introductory pricing is $2 per million input token and $10 per million output token through August 31st. Then it moved to $3.15. It's also available on Mac, Steam, Enterprise, Cloud Code, and the API as Claude Sonnet 5. One token detail worth knowing. Sonnet 5 run on a new tokenizer, so the same input can map to up to 1.35 times more token than before. Anthropic said that Enterprise specifically to keep the switch roughly cost neutral despite that. On safety, Sonnet 5 show a lower rate of misaligned behavior than 4.6, though still a bit higher than Opus 4.8 and the unreleased Mythos preview. It's better at reducing malicious requests and resistant prompt injection, but it's not a cybersecurity model. In Firefox exploit development testing, it never produced a single full working exploit. It still ships with cyber safeguards on by default, just lighter one than Fable 5 got. So that's the whole picture. Fable 5, 3 weeks suspension resolved and rolling back out globally, and Sonnet 5 land in the same week as a generally strong, cheaper agentic default. Whether the original shutdown was actually justified is still up for debate. Let me know what you think in comment.